Welcome back to Power Panel 365. This is your host, Star Coates. Today I have with me the Black Panther Party, and we're going to be talking to them today, and they're going to be sharing a little bit of information with us about themselves, about their party, and some of the work that they've done. So we'll get back with you guys in one moment. Okay, and we're going to start with you, Dr. Ned. Tell us a little bit about who's Dr. Ned and whom the Black Panthers are.
Well, I just want to clarify, I'm Dr. Saturno Ned, and I'm an alumni member of the Black Panther Party. There is no more Black Panther Party, no matter what you hear anywhere across the country. We have a network, and it's called the Black Panther Party Alumni Legacy Network, or the BPPLN.org, and that's our website for short. And it is actually going where the party would have been or gone to when it was dissolved in 1982, from 1966 to 1982. And those party members, my other brothers and sisters and comrades here, we all had at least a 10 year, 10 to 12 years plus. So we can tell the true story, the true knowledge of our ideology, the philosophy, and how we got things done. So this is an ongoing concept. This year is the 55th anniversary celebration of the founding of the Black Panther Party. We're really excited about it because we right now understand that the dust is settling, people are looking for real answers, and we're providing them. We have classes set up, and we can talk about that a little bit more, but I just want to initially introduce myself and that we are part of the network. And it is composed of not only alumni members, but business people, people from every background, journalists, brothers and sisters who are community-based organizers, teachers, you name it, educators. And it's all about taking that knowledge and the legacy and using it not only in their own profession, but to reestablish what we call real institutions in our community.
Wow.
I am a life coach. I'm married to Dr. Satu Ned, who is an original Black Panther Party member. I was privileged as a child and a teenager to go to the breakfast program, to do the after school program with the Black Panther Party, to be trained by them, taught by them, to be helped with my education. So I did a lot of activities that way, and as an adult, I've been able to assist with different events that they've had. So I am active that way as a part of the Black Panther Party Legacy Network.
My name is Catherine Campbell, and I'm an original Black Panther Party member, now a alumni, Black Panther Party alumni, and I joined the party in 1969, and I stayed in for at least 10 years, working in all of the programs, the 10-point platforming program that we had. So when I think of it, I just worked in every aspect of the party, and am still active as an alumni member to educate the communities, by saying all power to the people, AP to the people.
Hello, everyone. I am Steve McCutcheon, Professor Steve McCutcheon. I'm a member of the Black Panther Party Alumni Legacy Network. Originally, I hail from the Baltimore chapter of the Black Panther Party, which was created in 1968. 1972, I arrived here in Oakland, California, with other members of the Black Panther Party from around the country. We came here as part of the consolidation effort to build a strong base of operations in Oakland to consolidate political, social, and economic efforts in the efforts and struggle to move Black people towards the self-determination that the American government and American ideology have so long, so long historically denied Black people. 2 years in the Black Panther Party, which culminated in me in 1980. I eventually decided to staff in my local community school. which Dr. Meredith previously pointed out was signified by then Governor Jerry Brown as an example of excellent achievement and the only model elementary school ever to receive such a distinction.
Hello, my name is Ezekiel Holiday. I'm a hip hop artist from Oakland, California. I'm also a community organizer and a coordinator for the Black Panther Party Alumni Network. I've been around learning from these guys since about the year 2000, and I'm here to represent for the youth, to teach the youth and to speak to the youth, to tell them that they have the power to make changes in their community, to change conditions, and each one teach one. And the world is a classroom. And so, to all the young people listening, I'd like to say, power to the people.
Now, Dr. Ned, tell us some of the roles and responsibilities that you have played being part of the Black Panthers. As a leader, some of the things that you feel are strongly up on your shoulders. Give us some details about that.
Well, I want to start off quoting what Emory Douglas would always tell everybody. The Black Panther Party initially was full of geniuses, young black men and women who came from all over America, who may have been leaders in their own communities, but decided to come under the auspices of an organization and that had a concept of what to do and the attraction of the 10-point platform and program. For the first time, coming out of a transitional period of the death of Martin Luther King, and then little Bobby Hutt, who was 17 at the time, and we were all like 17 and 19. Many of us who joined the party, the average age was 19 years old. We had some members who were 15 and 16 years old who joined the Black Panther Party. So for us, it was an unbelievable period of time with young people coming together all over the country. After the event, that's what it was, when they went to Sacramento, I happened to be there. I was downtown, 1967, senior cut day, and I saw Ronald Reagan being taken off by the state police, left a group of young white suburban children. And I looked down the next entrance about 100 yards, and I seen a group of people walk in, went in behind them, saw them standing there talking about they wanted to read a statement about our constitutional right to bear arms, because what was happening in Oakland was typical that we see today. And there was no recourse. If they shot you and killed you or abused you, they would be out the next day going like this, you're next. There were no trials, there was nothing. So we took it upon ourselves at that time, the party did, they were local. But for us, the explosion of Huey P. Newton, the trial, and coming in the party, it was amazing because people came in from all over. Students, people coming back from Vietnam, regular folks in the community from everywhere, people working with jobs, people from the church, everyone came, many people came and joined the party, and those that didn't became what we call community workers. So for me, joining the party, I pretty much did, I was in the Sacramento office. It was one of the offices that was raided by COINTELPRO in 1969, and San Diego and LA, and then they marched across the country arresting hundreds of members. Went to central headquarters as part of the original central headquarters security for our national spokespeople, and also worked there at Central, working with the chapters and branches across the country. Then I was assigned, we did in between, there's so much about the party, the boycott, supporting the farm workers, making sure that the businesses supported the breakfast programs, and everything that we began to roll out, which there were 63 of them. I also was part of a singing group called the Lumpin', which is on the site, and then one of the most memorable periods of time, as Professor Steve and Sister Catherine was part of it, the Oakland Community School. Amazing opportunity to learn and grow and teach. So pretty much for me, it was just like everyone else in the party, we did whatever was necessary. And I guarantee you, we sat down one day and counted all the things that we did. It would be probably at least 100 or more for each and every one of us that did what we did as far as assignments. And when we were asked to do something, we never felt it couldn't be done. And we always tell young people when we did what we did, no matter how overwhelming it seemed, there was nothing. It was like the desert. It was like we're looking for an oasis of water, and we had to create everything. There were no food banks. There were no medical clinics. There was no sickle cell testing. There was no affordable housing for help first reach the first in the nation. There were no senior housing, Health on Net, SAFE program, seniors get some feel from the fire, now parent grants. The list goes on. So my duties were varied and many, but we took the challenge. We took up the charge when it was necessary, and we carried out the assignments. Young people, we never thought that we could never do it. We always knew that we could do it, but it was also because we had discipline, we had some type of structure, and we had a way of thinking, an ideology, and a philosophy on what to do. And guess what? That has carried us through for all our lives, and we've been able to pass it on from generation to generation. Right now, the stakes are higher than they ever have been. So here we are to pass on what we know to you.
Can you do me a favor and show the camera your photo? We're gonna get in
I
closer
didn't
for
even
you.
look at it. I know, I'm sorry. If I go after you, I didn't see it.
So this is his group he's referring to.
Thank you. How are you?
Okay, can you repeat that question again?
Yes. Okay, Catherine, I want you to let us know some of the roles and responsibilities that you played within the community as a community leader, and even some of the things that you might have felt pressure on your shoulders. Share with us just a little bit about that.
Okay, well, what I would like to share is that, the year that I joined the Black Panthers and I started as a volunteer worker and then progressed into nutrition. That was my main thing, was nutrition. But before that, I was everything that Satu just mentioned about the programs, because they didn't have the SAFE program, they didn't have sickle cell anemia, they didn't have the clothing program, they didn't have the breakfast program. So all of those that he mentioned were survival programs that I worked in.
Yes.
And one of the main things was the breakfast program, because what? Wow. Okay. This is the first time I'm seeing this also. But this is definitely me. This is the work I did. And little did we know, or little did I know that we were making history. Because there was a big, huge void and something missing in our culture, in our communities. And that was that we weren't being taken care of right. We weren't being listened to. We were being forgotten about. Our parents were trying to keep a job, and but they would come home and with a paycheck that wasn't really enough to take care of 5 children or 6 or maybe even 1. So those programs that I worked in, I really enjoyed them because not only that, we just kept the enthusiasm up. The community, it was about the community. It just wasn't about us, just one individual. It was certainly about the community getting their needs met. And so that really sparked me. I was supposed to be going to college, but when I started doing that, I really felt like I was helping to make a change. And for today, I think the youth really want to see a change also, because these things are coming up again. As a matter of fact, they're no different than they were before, and it's just I would say I'm looking for a word here to show how it's grown bigger. There's a lot of homelessness out there right now. There's a lot of youth that are in their 40s and 30s that are trying to see their future. And, we need to give it to them. We need to show them that there is a future for them, that there's a sequence of things that they can do. And like Dr. Satura said, to help them learn how to think and not what to think, because they have to unlearn what they've learned. And what they've learned is imprisoning their mind. So, we have the key or the answer to help, open that up and lose that old way of what to think instead of how to think.
Wow. Dr. Steve, same question. Tell us a little bit about the roles and responsibilities that you play as a community leader. It's even some of the things that were up on your shoulders. Just share with us a little bit about what you were going through.
Okay, let me go back to the beginning. I'm originally from the Baltimore chapter of the Black Panther Party. In November of 1968, I had already had an interest in the Black Panther Party. And the only information that I had in terms of their presence and their activities was what I had observed from May 2nd, 1967, during the entourage and members of the Black Panther Party as they made their presence known in Sacramento. So from 1967 to 1968, I had nothing else about the Black Panther Party. During that period of time, I had been declared by the Selective Service Bureau of the United States military. I was 1A, which meant that I was ready for the military draft. And I had no idea of going into the military during that period of time, particularly since it was on the precipice of the height of the Vietnam War. I was downtown in Baltimore and I had run into a brother, a member of the party of that first organizing arm of the party. And he was selling newspapers. I bought a few copies of the paper after talking with him and after reading through the 10-point programming platform of the Black Panther Party. I found that point number 7 of that original 10-point programming platform designated that we want all black men exempt from military service. The brother that I had spoken with, his name is Big Boy. He had invited me to an orientation meeting that coming Sunday. I was there, and it was the 10-point programming platform. That particular point about we want all black men exempt from military service that prompted me. I went to the meeting, in orientation, and then from there, I began active participation with the party, mostly through selling newspapers, the Black Panther Party, Black Community News Service, and then participated in the political education that we held. In 1969, there was a restructuring of the Baltimore chapter, spearheaded by internal disruption and dysfunction, primarily dysfunction within our chapter. There was a top to bottom reshuffling of the leadership of the Baltimore chapter and among the rank and file members. Out of that, I was appointed the coordinator, the information coordinator for the Baltimore chapter, and subsequently, not only coordinated information, the flow, production, distribution of information, and public relations, but also assigned to teach political education classes for our graduates. While I was on the East Coast, I was eventually assigned to Philadelphia chapter, where I taught political education classes, and then to go on in New York, where I taught political education classes as part of that cadre that at the time housed the East Coast distribution center, newspaper distribution of the Black Panther Party, where Sam Napier coordinated that part of the Black Panther Party. From there, I moved to New Haven, Connecticut, and there also as a member of part of that category, also taught political education. Eventually, the Department of Justice through the FBI had some other interests in my activities in my past, but particularly as it related to selective service violations. So after being invited to inspect the premises at the expense of the city of Baltimore City Jail, and after many of these fallacies were pointed out in terms of the incorrectness of charges leveled against not only me but other members of our chapter, I resumed my activities with the Baltimore chapter until March of 1972. March of 1972, I and other members who wanted to be a part of the group from Baltimore that would come to Oakland to further our participation with the consolidation, global consolidation of the Black Panther Party. We arrived here, were able to eventually be placed in different areas of responsibility um, with the different tasks that were assigned to us over that period of time. And I, like Catherine and Dr. Ned, who were all eventually assigned to the staff at the Oakland Community School. From there, I got physical education and math and began in 1973. And in 1974, the interest and enthusiasm of some of the youth from the community who had observed the teachings and our classes participating in the martial arts segment of our physical education curriculum at the local community school, through the local community school classes. They were interested in developing an afternoon component. And after inquiring with coordinators of the program congregate at the Black Panther Party, who were assigned to the Oakland Community Learning Center, was able to develop the after-school martial arts program in 1974. So from 1974 until I eventually resigned from the Black Panther Party of the salary to not only the staff of the Oakland Community School, but to the staff of the Oakland Community Learning Center, and to coordinate the sports program and direct and teach the martial arts program. So after that, after leaving the Black Panther Party, I basically returned to teaching in the Oakland Community School. And matter of fact, one of the schools that I had only a 1 year assignment was Glenview Elementary School, which had been located just up the hill from me.
Oh, wow.
And so now I believe it's been consolidated to Santa Fe Elementary. But as an extension of my opportunities and interests in education through the Black Panther Party, the Oakland Community School, and Oakland Community Learning Center, the interest in education and education so that it is opportune and correct and beneficial for the benefit of Black youth and other youth and students who have not been able to understand the process of being taught how to think and not what to think. And so I carried on, and it's still part of the fabric of the worldview and personal and many others of the Black Panther Party.
So, what are some of the community goals that you, or some of the goals, excuse me, that you would like the community to achieve? Um, Given the fact that there are some things that there are some goals that we just know that they have not reached or that they don't pay too much attention to. What are some of the community goals that you can see that you think are needed? Some of these things that they need to reach, in your opinion.
We actually have, if you go on our website, bppaln.org, you'll actually see we have some initiatives. One is in education, we have health initiatives, and some of those things, using those as two as an example. We've been given health forums where we talk about 8 of the health illnesses that affect young black males, and black women. And this is the things that should be asked for. One of the things also sickle cell anemia that should be retested for because it is running rampant in our community. And outside of California, it's difficult for people. We have people in our network who have sickle cell anemia. And also in the educational arena, one thing that we really feel, all that's going on is that our children don't have any knowledge of themselves. There are no consistent, real knowledge of the historical significance of who they are, how we built America, and then taken to the level of how we continue to change our community. Using the example of what we did before as young people. Imagine being 19 years old and being told you have to start a full health clinic, which we did. And one of them, we have a couple of them still, one of them still active and running in Seattle, Washington. So these are just a few of the things that we are dealing with. And today, for instance, by not only creating that knowledge concept, which we know we're going to have to get into the schools, our agenda has been pushed aside as usual, and there will be nothing there unless we do it ourselves. One other quick program that we actually have one of our members in Atlanta, software engineer, left the tech industry, met him, now he's with us, started a program where he's teaching 9th and 10th graders. By the time they're done, they will have equivalent of software engineering degree. In October, the 55th anniversary, we're going to start another session with 20 students, and we want them for all over the country. And listen to this. All tuition and everything is paid for. Our young people don't even have to be good in math. As long as they're good in detail, they will learn that process. We're not talking just coding. We're talking about software applications, gaming, and everything you can imagine. And the concept is this, not to go and try to get a position in these companies that are hiring. We're talking about just like we did before, creating our own tech hub, creating our own tech campuses. And therefore we'll never have to worry about building anything anymore. So this is something that we're excited about, relating all young people. Those are just a couple of things that we're working on at this point in time that we know the community. And most important of all, which I'm pretty sure Professor Steve and Sister Catherine might address, the classes that we have. Teaching them the knowledge of how and what we did. And our concept is this, seeing it through our eyes, walking in our shoes, and hearing it from us directly. No longer the misnomers, no longer dependent upon half-truth movies, which don't even have that much truth in them, or narrations by people defining who we were. We now have the opportunity to tell the truth, to pass on that royal legacy to all the youth and everyone else at this point in history.
I just want to add something to what Dr. Ned was saying about the classes. We have what is called Black History classes in the university and the colleges, but they're not really addressing our history as African Americans or Americans from African descent. So we have to go in there and teach our children what our real history truly is, what our ancestry is all about, where we came from, who we are, who our people were, what we can accomplish, because that's not really being addressed. Even in those textbooks that they have today. They just kind of give you a little basics every now and then about maybe a black poet, or they give a Martin Luther King, I Got a Dream speech, but it goes further than that. We're very accomplished people, and a lot of our youth don't realize that because they haven't been taught that.
What are some of the goals that you would like the community to achieve? And given some of the things that we know that they have not achieved and some of the problems that we face within our community, what are some of the things that you would like to see the community do or to achieve?
I would like the community to achieve and do and show leadership because that's what we need. I would like to see them achieve all of what we talked about in the 10-point platform as far as what the community's needs are. The basic needs first. and then work their way up from there, because I feel like if those things aren't taken care of, then we can't go any further. And I have to speak of the breakfast program, because that's that's very important for uh, even people, not just children, to be fed in the morning, And I'm told by my doctor all the time, make sure you eat breakfast in the morning. Breakfast means to break your fast.
Mm.
And, through the night, you're not eating, you may be working, you could be sleeping, but, breakfast is very important. So when these children, they don't have their breakfast in the morning to go to school, they're gonna be squirming in their seat, they may start a fight, they may have a stomach ache. I mean, they just act out. And sometimes the instructor doesn't understand what's going on at home. So, you know, uh, that's one of the most important things. And me being working in the nutrition program in the Oakland Community School, for which I was in charge of the vegetarian meal allergies and whatnot, that's very key too. I would love to see the community address that.
Mm.
Children go to school, they give them these box lunches and they give them stuff that have like maybe 20 or 30 ingredients in them. And we don't know, what the food has been processed on. It may have been processed on machines that process eggs, nuts, and whatnot. And some of our children, we're allergic to some of those things that they eat anyway.
Mm.
So why hide them in the food that they're eating? And then the parent has to try to figure out, why is this person breaking out in a rash? And it takes a long time to even figure that out, because, as Julie had mentioned, other thing is that the sickle cell anemia, okay, diabetes. Our communities are suffering from those. And when we go to the hospital, they think we're coming to get drugs.
Mm.
They think that's all we want is drugs. So the first thing they want to do is give you a pill, give you some Vicodin or hydrocodone or some addicting narcotic.
Mm.
And then the next thing you know, they spiral down into not being able to take care of themselves, nor even to be the example, to be for people to see what leadership is.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that change, and I would like to see the young folks, step up and get on the front line and show us, that they know how to do it. But we want to teach them how to think.
Some things that you would like the community, some goals that you would like the community to reach.
Okay, as a final thought, I think one of the goals that the community, I would like to see the community obtain, and that is part and parcel, I think, with all of our members of the Black Panther Party that strive for doing our existence and afterwards, and what not only the masses of the Black community and poor and Black people have been striving for in terms of goals, and all freedom-loving people have been striving for. Since the creation of science, people have been trying to reach those points which have been articulated through the 10-point program and platform of the Black Panther Party. Those basic needs, from self-determination to housing, to decent education, to food, to employment, pays a marketable wage, through medical care that is not based upon a person's social status or class status, the legal justice is not afforded in the court systems, and the justice and due process through the court system to entitle people who have been accused to an understanding where they can participate fully in society, regardless of how incriminating or what the circumstances are. We need to move towards a goal where people can come together collectively and collaboratively in a well-ordered society. We need to come together and attain and reach towards a goal where people need not need.
Wow. So, just as a last minute thing for you guys, how would you guys like to end the show with a prayer, a poem, some words of wisdom? Where can we find the Black Panthers?
See the community achieve self-sustainability and to achieve more ways to prosper youth up because the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. So you can teach the youth how to think and not what to think. And they can learn how to make positive changes and transform the community and be the change to the conditions that exist today. For the youth, I would like to see them achieve education and arm themselves with education so that they can take the power back into their own hands.
Okay. So, how would you guys like to end? Prayer, poem, some words of wisdom. How can we find the Black Panthers?
I'll just quickly say again, the website is bppaln.org. bppaln.org. All lowercase letters. You can contact us there. No problem. And I always like to end on one of my favorite sayings that Dr. Huey P. Newton always say: "Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act as a desired matter. What is it? Does it affect us? Is it for us or against us? If it is, we're going to make it work for us." That's where the concept of real power comes from. And that's why we always say, all power to the people.
All right.
I just wanted to say too, we're always striving to lift up everyone whom we come in contact with, to encourage them, to motivate them, to strive to encourage them to be positive thinkers, to be able to think for themselves, to understand that they're intelligent and that they can learn anything. And they can do everything and accomplish everything as anyone else, any other culture, any other nationality. We're brilliant people too. And that's what our youth have to be taught. We are intelligent, unique people. We have a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and discernment. We just have to learn how to stay focused, teach them how to stay focused and to use it. So my encouragement is to be as creative and inventive as you can and stay in your studies. Every way you can, learn everything you can. Soak it up like a sponge. Use it to your advantage because knowledge is power. And everybody is a revolutionary, whether they understand it or not, and a true warrior because we live in this world. AP to the people.
Yeah, I would like to end by saying that October is Black Panther Month, and there is a 55th year anniversary celebration of the Black Panther Party breakfast program and all the other programs for that matter. So I encourage the youth to attend. There'll be one over here in Oakland, and right now we're working on one that will be in San Francisco because San Francisco had the distribution office over there that was interrupted by the established whoever they were. We had a name for them at that time, but I won't say it. So I just encourage the youth. I'm continuously keeping them in my prayers because I am a praying woman, and sometimes we do have to call on a higher power. So I just encourage them to stay strong, stay focused, and be hopeful, and know that they can make the change.
Okay.
One other note, in conclusion, along with the rest of us today, that one concept of the Black Panther Party was that we wanted to translate theory into practice, theory into action. And we found that through education, organization, mobilizing the masses, that organized action based on theory, based on concrete theory, leads to success in terms of moving the community forward, and upward. So theory and practice must coincide. It must be complementary sides of the same coin. And that theory into practice, that theory into action, and that action in terms of black communities, poor and oppressed communities, and freedom loving people around the world. That action, that organized, conscious action, that action is supreme.
Our last moment, and we've been educated on the roles and responsibilities that the Black Panthers have played within our community. And we all know that how influential they are here, especially here in Oakland and all over the United States. I mean, no matter how many times you say their names, it's just like it's not dying, it's not getting stomped out. The fire's getting hotter, hotter, hotter. And we thank you guys for coming out and sharing some stories with us, and letting us know some of the things that you guys have done. You guys answered a lot of the questions without us asking you the questions too, by the way. So you guys summed it up for us quickly. Um, and we thank you. We thank you guys for coming on and coming out and talking to us. Thank you guys for tuning in.